in school. Never mind what your parents told you. Disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. When your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
I'm Nathan. This is the At Odd Show. Please listen.
Please listen.
Wow, she was like 8.
I know it. She sounds like it too. Now this is what she sounds like now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I will.
Don't holler. I'll do it.
Okay.
Ah.
She's a teenager, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
But we love her.
She's a stereotypical teenager.
I know. I thought she'd be a bit more unique, but
She's sort of unique.
sort of.
Today, March 21st, March Madness. Second day, I think. 2019, Michigan State University. The Spartans, go green, go white. They won today, but it was an ugly win. But anyways, we're in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. Where at, Nate?
Jersey.
We're in Jersey.
Not New Jersey.
I didn't say
Jersey, the European country, and
Europe.
You said it with a
New Jersey
with a
accent.
New Jerseyan accent.
How the hell do you know what people in Jersey sound like?
Well, I suppose they sound like this.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I was going for British.
How about this? Hey, Governor, care for a spot of tea? Is that what you were trying to go for?
Did anyone even know?
Because you nailed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's officially Ballywick of Jersey.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a crown dependency located north, near the coast of something.
Yeah. They got great subs.
Oh,
They're big.
They're giant.
Jersey Giants
Giant.
are big.
That's funny.
Thank you. Yeah, well, London's okay. England's okay. Not really. London's really increased their crime rate now. They're having a real problem with knives.
Well, Jersey is basically France.
Jersey is in France? I
So,
thought Jersey
well, it's
was
not.
in
It's-
the UK.
No, it's located near the coast of Normandy.
Well, so am I. So it's relative.
It was part
Closer
of
than
the
I.
Duchy of Normandy,
Uh-huh.
whose duke went on to become kings of England.
So you're saying Jersey is in England?
Okay, so after Normandy was lost by the kings of England in the 13th century, and the don't know that word title surrendered to France, Jersey and other Channel Islands remained attached to the English crown.
So they were kind of for a while.
But they do speak French there, apparently.
But are they part of France?
No,
now?
they're their own deal.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're like Wales then? Really sort of independent, but not quite?
Yeah, like Taiwan. No, not Taiwan.
You're thinking Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong. That was it. That's what I was thinking of. Taiwan's completely independent.
Yeah.
So yes, they are. They are a crown dependency.
Well, which
Apparently,
crown?
it's
The French crown or the English crown?
English crown.
Depends what
Their
century.
official languages are English, French,
Okay.
and Jariais.
Spell it.
J, E with an umlaut, RRIAIS.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Oh, not to be confused with Jersey legal French. It's a form of Norman language spoken in Jersey.
So it's a more ancient language.
Yeah, so that's cool.
I bet not many people speak
Yeah,
it.
let's move on. This is boring.
Oh, I think it's fascinating.
Listen, I
love
didn't even know this was a country before we.
It's not a country.
Whatever it is.
It doesn't belong to the UN. It's not a country. It's not an independent
If it
state.
doesn't belong to the UN, it's not a country. Like Mexico?
Like Iran.
Oh, not a country. You're right. Oh, Palestine?
Not a country.
Uh-oh.
Just heard about that today. Netanyahu is thanking Trump for coming through again for Israel.
Good.
Okay.
We should. They're a close ally.
Yeah. But we shouldn't give them any more special
we
treatment
should get
than
rid
any
of.
of
We
our
should
other allies.
stop being anti-Semitic, please.
Oh, jeez. I want to hear the end of that.
You go hang out with Omar.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
I thought you were going to say one particular person, not Omar.
No, I would never single someone out on the show.
Sure you will. Bob Dole. And
Jeff. Bob Dole.
He's passed away, sadly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Didn't he? Oh, no.
I didn't.
I was thinking of a funeral, but he was at McCain's funeral, which we're going to, talk about Trump.
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's 95 years old.
Yeah. First, let's get this out of the way because this is really important. Today is National Fragrance Day.
I thought I smelled something.
That was
Thank you.
me.
I don't think that's the kind of fragrance
That was a little gift from me to
I
you,
don't
blowing
think
you a
that's
little kiss.
the fragrance they're talking about.
You're supposed to celebrate your sense of smell. How's it going, Nate?
It's something's being celebrated.
I had beans just for you.
It smells a combination of that and that weird skunky smell coming from the control room with Steve over there.
What is that smell?
I don't know. It's weird. It smells
It's almost
familiar.
like you said, sort of skunky, sometimes like sweet, almost like burning leaves or burning
Smells
like
like-
green grass or something.
It smells
It's
like college. It's weird.
It smells like despair and hopelessness. Trump said to release. We talked about this. Remember, this was the Mueller report. The Mueller report.
Or is it Mueller?
It's Bueller.
Have you ever heard him say it?
No, how does he say it?
I have no idea.
Mueller. Mueller.
Everyone says Mueller, so we'll go with Mueller.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, what about it?
Well, you said that the Republicans wouldn't want it released because the Democrats want to release it because there might be incriminating evidence in the report. Finally, Trump just came out and tweeted, I don't mind. I mean, frankly, I told the House, if you want, let them see it.
Meaning the public.
Yep.
So can we see it?
I think we can. He also tweeted later, he says, on the recent non-binding vote, 420 to nothing in Congress about releasing the Mueller report, I told leadership to let all Republicans vote for transparency. Makes us all look good and doesn't matter. Play along with the game. Now, we don't know if he's privy to what's in the report or whether any of his staff or someone he knows has read the report.
He said he does not know what's in it, but he's not worried.
Yeah, so it makes me think he must know.
Yeah.
So, if it's good enough for Trump to release, then I was right. Release it. And you were wrong.
I never said don't release it.
Yeah, you did. You said last week or the week before.
No.
You said, whatever you do, for the love of God, Trump, don't let them release that report.
I would
Because if I do, Nate, that's what he said to you, Nate, I'll go down. That's what he said.
Yeah, I would have said the opposite of that. Also, I think what I said was that the Democrats wanted to release it, and you said that must mean there's something in it. And I said, no, it just means they think there's something in it that they can use.
Do they know now? Does anyone know?
Mueller knows.
Mueller knows.
Mueller.
And he ain't talking.
Mueller.
He's no stoolie.
All right.
All right. So
that was exciting. I think I'm happy about it being. The thing is, it's going to be 7,000 pages long, right?
Right.
I mean, do we know how long it is? I think I'd heard 20 pages or something.
You just said 7,000.
It's somewhere between 1 and 7,000 pages.
Somewhere in there.
But my guess is it's going to read like a story problem from high school math, where 95% of the things in it are irrelevant to what you're actually trying to find out, just to confuse you.
So what you're saying is Mueller wanted to make sure that the U.S. got their money's worth, so he's padding it, like you did on your reports in college.
Yeah, I padded the hell out of it. What I'm saying is
your summary was one sentence.
They're trying to obfuscate the truth.
Obfuscate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hide it.
That's a good word.
Hide it in there. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen that in
kind of like this show. A lot of words, very little substance.
Right. I've seen that word used in Michigan state statutes, where it was illegal to obfuscate your serial number on your firearms or your concealed pistol license. You cannot obfuscate any of the information on your license.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to use whiteout to change the numbers?
What I wanted to do, and I did do until I looked up the statute, is I covered my personal information except for my name.
Yeah.
With like a sticky white tape, correction tape.
Okay.
So when the cops say, well, you have your CPL, and, I give it to them, and it has the date on there. It has my name, picture.
Okay.
But it blocked out the other stuff. They don't need to see that, right? They just have to know that you have the license.
I guess.
And then I read that, so then I had to scrape all the tape off, and then I scratched everything, and you can't read it now.
Wow. Well, that's... I'm going to report you to authorities.
That's good.
For obfuscating it.
I'm Presbyterian. No. I don't know what that means. And I'm not.
You're not?
No, it's usually like, somebody uses a big word, and I say, no, I'm, Protestant or something.
Got it.
Okay. The other thing I don't want Trump to do, well, there's a lot of things, but Trump should stop dissing. Is that the right word?
That's it.
The dead McCain.
It
doesn't do any good. It makes one look petty. It doesn't really accomplish anything. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Even though the harm that a man does lives long after he's dead,
Well, sure, but it's not changing anything to keep blaming him for stuff or saying
it's
I
like
never
saying,
liked him or his family never thanked me for his funeral.
That Hitler guy. Ugh. Doing a Canadian accent there.
Yeah.
Oh, that Hitler. Oh.
Well, I think there's a difference between saying...
No, I just was comparing McCain to Hitler there, and no one even...
Well, there's no difference between McCain and Hitler.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
But what I'm saying is there's a difference between saying, let's look
We're
at the
pissing
things...
off a lot of people.
Let's look at the things Hitler did, and let's talk about why they're bad and try not to repeat them. There's a difference between that and saying, I never liked him, and his family never thanked me for the funeral that I allowed him to have.
Nobody thanked Hitler's family or any. They didn't. You know what? He didn't thank the Russians.
I never liked Hitler anyway.
The Russians took his body, and damn it, they never got thanked for his funeral.
I heard he was alive still.
Yeah, he's not alive.
All right, him and JFK and
Elvis
and Bigfoot.
They're all hanging out together, smoking skunk weed.
So yeah, I don't know. I also don't care that much, but I kind of agree with you that it's just,
I don't know that
weird.
It serves a purpose.
Right? What good is it doing?
Maybe
not
makes
doing
him
a lot
feel
of
good. Maybe I don't know.
Well, and that's important.
I suppose.
You have to keep high morale in the office.
Also, he was dissing some staffer's husband, and I think that's just what the hell.
Oh no!
What the hell purpose of that? He has a female.
Shoot, yeah,
she's got some
they're
position.
like a well-known. Oh, what is her name?
You can Google it.
No, I don't even know how to Google it.
Trump dissing husband.
Yeah, but the husband is like a super, super far left communist, and she's not, and so it's weird.
But he said something about he's just mad because I didn't give him a job. Was that a possibility?
Well,
if
Trump,
he was a far left,
Trump could give anyone a job. I'm mad he didn't give me a job.
But was he in a running for anything based on his politics? No.
Yeah, he could have been. Why not? I mean, he's well known. I just can't think of his name.
You can't find it?
I don't know how to do that.
Trump makes fun of staffer's husband. You'll find it. Okay. It'll be the first thing that pops up. That's how good Google is. Oh, you're using Go Duck.
Melania Trump is Donald's fiercest protector.
Oh,
that's not
maybe
Conway, Kellyanne Conway.
There you go.
Husband is George T. Conway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The famous guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
Nobody knows his name. So if he's far left,
He's an attorney.
of course he is.
He was on the short list of candidates considered by President Donald Trump for United States Solicitor General.
Oh,
So, yes, it was a possibility.
I guess. What the hell's a solicitor general?
I guess he's a Republican. I'm confused.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That makes a little more sense.
I must have been confusing him with some Hitler, I think.
Hitler was far left. He was but he's not as far left as some of the kids today.
But wasn't he an authoritarian? And doesn't that make him conservative? Because I thought conservatives were the authoritarians.
I don't know what he is. All I know is that you really shouldn't make. I mean, that's like a personal thing.
Trump is literally Hitler.
He can't be literally Hitler. He could be Hitler reincarnate.
By the way, humans are personal people.
Yes, they are.
So, I mean, to say that Trump shouldn't do personal things because it's politics or whatever, I mean, it is personal. I think that's what's great about Trump, and the reason that he can actually get stuff done is because he understands that he's dealing with humans and not just a political party.
You know what? Wiping your ass is human too, but you don't go on Twitter and say, "Oh, that guy over there, he wipes his ass. He does it very bigly. He's huge. It's great. I love the way he wipes his ass."
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was Donald Trump, I might.
Ridiculous.
I don't think it. I don't.
It's poor form.
But that's not what he did. You're being ridiculous.
You need to hold your tongue.
You're taking it to an well, I mean, in some cases, right? So taking it to an extreme always makes it absurd. I think there's a Latin term to say
absurdum, not illegitimate dum.
Really stupid argument.
There's my pictures there if you look it up.
I think so. Right next to pedant.
What?
Huh? Pedant. However you say that. The, noun for pedantic. It means you care about small details way too much.
Pedant?
That's what I said.
Okay.
And you said, what?
I never heard that used. I always heard pedantic. You're pedantic.
Well, look up pedantic on Google and it won't show up.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not a real word.
It will say pedant.
If Google doesn't have it, it's not
You're
real.
not a pedantic, you are pedantic.
Okay.
You're a pedantic person known as a pedant.
Who engages in pedant.
A pedant.
Ism. Damn it. We're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we need to move on.
All
So,
right.
Trump, try to be more nice so Brian's happier.
Yeah.
He'll listen to me, don't worry.
Or mention my name in one of your tweets. I wouldn't mind
I don't
that.
think you want him to do that.
Sure, I don't care. They had Odd Show, too.
Brian's just mad I didn't give him a job.
Look at that slob. No wonder.
All right.
250 immigrants released into the U.S.
Yeah, that's not too many.
Nah,
We can absorb that.
because of overcrowding.
Where? In Mexico?
Yeah. Mostly they're family units, and so that's
Sure.
nice.
Yeah.
But they're given papers with their court dates and say, "Oh, you promise that you'll come back for your court
You
date."
better show up. Yeah, and I'm sure they promised.
And
Of course they will.
they want them to stay with their families that are in the U.S. so they can keep an eye on them, I suppose.
No, so the press doesn't say Trump's separating families.
A spokesman for the Customs and Border Protection said that the releases were being done in a bid to, quote, mitigate risk to both officer safety and vulnerable populations under these circumstances.
All right.
There's short of space for illegal migrants occurred due to an uptick in Central American families coming to the U.S. That would be the big caravan, right?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Due to a lack of space, the authorities can't follow the protocol and processes the migrant cases, which they are while they are in detention. So they can't help them as well as they might because of overcrowding.
Yep.
So instead of having them die like in facilities, they want them to die out in the streets.
Okay.
Okay. So Homeland Secretary Nielsen, she said she warned.
What's her first name?
Kirsten. No, it was Kirsten Nielsen. She warned earlier this month the mitigation crisis on the southern border is spiraling out of control.
Ooh, that's bad.
and predicts it'll get even worse in the coming months. She said Customs and Border Protection agents are on track to apprehend almost 1 million immigrants at the border this year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Nah, drop in the bucket.
We need a wall. I think a wall will solve the problem.
I told you my 5-point plan to stop immigration.
Did you see that, is it on here?
My 5-point plan?
That Trump vetoed the decrying of his national emergency. Because the House and Senate, whatever, passed the bill that said, you can't do this, it's not really an emergency, and he vetoed it. I don't think we talked about that last week.
No. How can he veto? Was it presented to him as a...
Well, yeah, it was a bill. Yeah.
That said what?
I don't know what it said.
Is it a bill or was it a resolution?
I might have been dreaming. I don't know what it was. Well, he doesn't get to veto resolutions.
No, I understand, but I don't... They have a bill... Oh, are you saying that... Oh, it was a bill that said presidents can't declare emergencies? Maybe that's what it was.
It was something similar to that.
Okay. Or was it very specific? Donald Trump cannot declare an emergency on building a wall. It would be a really stupid law.
That was it.
Nathan Neffa, you can no longer buy Winston cigarettes. Do he even make Winston cigarettes anymore? And by the way, if Winston wants to send a case of Winston cigarettes to Nate, he'd be very happy to have them.
I would be happy to have them.
Because I know what you would do with them. Unlawfully, of course. You have friends that smoke. You can give them out.
I would try really hard not to get choked to death for selling them.
Single stick.
Yep.
Did I tell you I was in a place not long ago that was selling single cigarettes over the counter in a party store? It was Grand Rapids, and I couldn't believe it. It infuriated me. I went right out and called the police.
What? I wasn't listening to you.
To any of that? You didn't get any of it?
I heard Grand Rapids and call the police. You saw kids crossing the street? Was that what it was?
I saw a party store owner was selling single cigarettes over the counter to people.
Okay, yep.
And I was so infuriated, I immediately went outside and called the police about it.
Did you really?
Yeah, because he couldn't collect taxes on it.
Yeah, and, who's going to fix the roads and all that?
Right. We need all the help we can get.
Well, so the New York Times, who we know is reliable, says it was a resolution.
That paper in New York, is somebody says.
On March 15th, on Friday, President Trump issued his first veto rejecting legislation to overturn his declaration of a national emergency to fund a wall along the southwestern border.
It wasn't a resolution, or it was?
Well, and then Trump said, today I'm vetoing this resolution.
Well, he can't.
Congress has a freedom to pass this resolution, and I have the duty to veto it. He did veto it. He's signing a paper right here. I'm watching the video.
Yeah, next, Google, can presidents veto resolutions?
I don't know if it
like
was
Congress.
I mean,
Dangerous resolution. Yesterday, Congress passed a dangerous resolution that, if signed into law, would put countless Americans in danger, very grave danger. Today, I am
Who's misusing
vetoing
resolution?
this resolution. Congress has the freedom to pass this resolution, and I have the duty to veto it.
They had to be making fun of him.
This is the sound of him signing the veto.
Well, yeah, I mean,
real big, by the way. I mean, that's real. Like,
oh my goodness, that's the whole page.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bigly.
for protecting us.
All right, that's annoying. Stop. Yeah. So I don't know. He was reading it, so his writer may have misused resolution, or does the president sign resolutions sometimes?
I don't know. That's something we should know. Meanwhile, you look
generally there's no legal difference between a joint resolution and a bill. Both must be passed and signed by the president.
Huh? That's ridiculous.
I feel like we should. I'm gonna go look up "I'm Just a Bill," that whole
and play that.
Yeah,
copyrighted. Don't do
probably
it.
Learn.
All right. Oh yeah, we should watch it after the show. I'm a resolution. I'm just a resolution. Yeah, I don't. Because I see townships and cities, they pass resolutions, but they don't have any power to enforce them.
But not joint resolutions. I think that's the difference.
Okay.
So, like Congress, the House of Representatives will pass a resolution that says, like, none of our representatives will use anti-Semitic language, which they did.
Yeah.
But it's not a joint resolution that the Senate also passes, which could become law.
Oh, I don't like that.
I know you don't, and that's why they do it.
The Supreme Court handed the Trump administration a victory in its battle to clamp down on illegal immigrants by making it easier to detain immigrants with criminal records.
How's Ruthie doing?
Did you see her wheeling her in the other day?
I did. She looked like a thing,
just like a mannequin or a coat rack,
like the one in the corner here.
Yeah. With a.
I don't think it was real because instead of legs, it was a metal base with wheels,
like
on it.
For mannequins or dressing,
like a mannequin.
Yeah.
It was not.
The ruling that federal immigration authorities can detain immigrants awaiting deportation anytime after they've been released from prison on criminal charges represents a victory for Trump.
Okay.
So it's the thing where, let's say you serve 5 years in prison as an illegal alien.
Yes.
And they let you out.
Yes. Been there.
They could, immigration authorities, they could arrest you immediately right at the prison gates and then do deportation. Or they could wait 10 or 15 or 20 years.
And then deport you.
And arrest you and deport you. And that's what this is about.
Okay.
Let's see, what was it? Oh, it was this guy had been a lawful permanent resident of the United States since 1981 and has 2 convictions for possession of marijuana. He was released from prison, which is a shame. He go to prison for marijuana, in 2006, but was not taken into custody by immigrations until 2013. And he lost.
I mean, so check. This is interesting. So first of all, there's a little nuance because according to this article, anyway, it says that the court decided that federal immigration officials can detain non-citizens at any time after they're released from local or state custody. So not prison.
Well, that's the terms they used in the article that I looked
Yeah.
at. They said prison.
But also, this is interesting. The case before the justices involved a class action lawsuit brought by non-citizens in California, and similar class action from the state of Washington. So,
weird, huh?
Non-citizens, class action lawsuit against the government by non-citizens.
We're getting close to break time.
I feel a little funny about that. We can take a break anytime you'd like there, Brian.
Well, let's get this crap out of the way. I have a trivia question.
Trivia question. All right.
This is this is an easy one. Who ran for president with the campaign slogan, "Vote yourself a farm"? Vote yourself a farm. Which president used that as a campaign slogan?
And mine, which is also easy.
Oh boy!
I'm.
Why are you getting on my bandwagon?
I'm jumping in. Before hello, and we talked about this, so it should be real easy. Before hello was introduced into the language, what word did people use when answering the phone?
How y'all doing?
So
hey y'all.
All right.
What about your heart?
We will be
right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
You know advertising works, and as you listen to this right now, so are others. Advertising on the internet is a proven way to get your message out there. So if you have a business or some message you want to get out, why not advertise on At Odds? Our rates are reasonable, and we can create and record an ad for you at no charge. If you already have a 15, 30, or 60-second audio ad, we can play it on our show. At Odds can be heard on Red State Talk Radio, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can mail us at talk@oddshow.com, and we can discuss and personalize an ad campaign for you today.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
And we know you do.
why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at chugdug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And, unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed. Canadians are easygoing people, but, when you rile us all up, we just go, ooh.
Happy Fragrance Day.
It's National Fragrance Day, not Happy Fragrance.
Did you get me a card?
I did, but you don't want to open it.
That's funny.
Let's see. Oh, we have trivia. So we had some guesses. So let's
trivia questions.
Right.
Let's do
only one was good. Who?
We'll save the best for last. So you go first.
Okay. So who ran for president with the campaign slogan, "Vote yourself a farm"?
We had a lot of guesses.
Yep.
Jimmy Carter.
Nope.
For his peanut farm.
Yep. That makes sense.
Bush Jr.
Nope.
Barack Obama. Benjamin Franklin.
Not Benjamin Franklin.
No.
Not a president.
Okay. Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Ooh, that'd be a good guess.
George Washington. Those were the guesses we had. Did anybody get it?
Nobody got it.
Wow.
And
okay.
I didn't know it. I'll be honest. I didn't know this was his campaign slogan. But it was Abraham Lincoln. And he was referring to the Republican Party's promise to support legislation granting free homesteads to settlers of the western frontier. Yeah. 4 years later, during the Civil War,
Republicans were awfully liberal.
He ran for re-election with the slogan, "Damn it, we're losing." I did what? Oh, no, it was, "Don't swap horses in the middle of the stream." Meaning, don't change presidents. Keep me in. I'm doing a good job. We'll win this thing.
Do you think he regrets that?
Probably.
Do you think Mr. Booth, John would have cared so much if he wasn't president?
Well, I think he would have shot any, Union president.
Yeah, but another Union president would have been sitting with his back to the door in a theater.
What?
I don't know. Let's move on.
All right.
I had a question.
In
what
your,
was it? Before hello was added to the language, what greeting did people use to answer the telephone?
Did we have some guesses?
We had a lot of guesses. One close guess and one not. Hola, which I thought was a good one.
Hola.
You had a guess.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Boing. That's not right. Jim's Mortuary. You stab them, we slab them.
That's a good
one. That wasn't it. City Morgue. That wasn't it. You people are morbid. Watson, come here.
Was it?
That was close. Very close. And Jimmy Carter was... Oh, that's a president guess. So, no, and we talked about it, I think, last week or the week before. The answer was ahoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy.
Yep.
And then Thomas Edison decided to say hello. Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you. That was the first known telephoned statement.
All right. This day in history. In 1952.
Oh, jeez.
Can't
we just do 2 trivia questions instead?
I suppose we could, but I want to do this one because...
All right, do it.
I'm
going to love it.
Was the first rock and roll concert, the Moondog Coronation Ball.
Oh.
Tickets sold out in a single day.
Sounds amazing.
Thousands of teenagers, hours before the show, lined up outside. It looked, that's familiar today. Kids do that today, right? They wait in line for days to get tickets. No one would have ever thought of that happening, in 1952. But Moondog was the legendary disc jockey Alan Freed, if you remember Alan Freed.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
He was the self-styled father of rock and roll because he used to use the term rock and roll. He got together with Leo Mintz, who owned a record store, and Leo said, hey, you know what? A lot of these young kids are buying all kinds of them black records.
Yeah.
And I don't mean color black records. They're buying them rhythm and blues record by black musicians. And the whites and the blacks are buying them. So Mint sponsored a 3-hour block of hip-hop music. Not hip-hop then, but hip music for the teenagers. Freed was the DJ. And they decided that they would promote this ball. And they had, listen to these headliners.
DJ?
Paul Williams.
You mean MC?
He was a DJ for a radio station.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay.
This is really confusing.
Yeah, he was a DJ, the original DJs, disc jockeys, and radio stations. What are you doing? What's wrong?
Are you kicking your foot?
Yeah.
Stop.
Of course I am. All right. So what was I? Oh, so who headlined? Paul Williams and the Hucklebuckers.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
And Tiny Grims and the Rockin' Highlanders.
Wow.
They were a black instrumental group that performed in kilts.
Wow, this is
cool.
That's interesting. Were the Beatles there?
No. In the end, it seemed the incredible popular demand for tickets proved to be the event's undoing because they counterfeited a bunch of tickets, and where the venue could hold like a couple thousand people, 25,000 people showed up.
That's awesome.
They tried to storm to get in. Oh, I guess the arena had a capacity of 10,000. I'm sorry, 10,000. It got so crazy that the police shut the concert down.
Oh. Did people get their money
so
back?
It never I don't know.
Wow.
Next day, he offered his apologies, and he said, if anyone had told us that some 25,000 people would try to get into a dance, I suppose you would have been just like me. You would have laughed and said they were crazy.
Uh-huh.
So,
wow.
Was it the first rock and roll concert since it didn't happen?
It wasn't. It was not the first one. It may have been the first one planned or, the first one to have 25,000 people try to storm into or something like that, but it was no Woodstock.
I bet, I'm sure Freed said, man, we should have booked a bigger place. They would have made a lot of money.
Yeah. Yikes.
All right. Aunt Becky and her daughter.
Where are we?
Cheating stuff?
You skipped one?
Oh, I did, didn't I? The most important
you sure
one.
did. So let's not talk about Aunt Becky.
Not yet, although she's kind of cute. I don't want to say this, but I have to. New Zealand gun owners are stupid.
Some of them.
This makes me mad.
Not all of them.
Prime Minister announced a ban on scary guns.
Well, that's a separate...
Which is a knee-jerk reaction, which is ridiculous, and the terrorists win.
Well, of course. I mean,
that's exactly what he was trying to do.
He wrote that in words, that's what he was trying to do.
Now, there's like 1.5 million guns that they think are in New Zealand. It's not a highly populated
Not a lot of
country.
guns. Better than Australia.
It's like 5 or 6 million people total.
Much better than Australia.
So the same amount of people as in like the New York City area.
Much better than Australia.
And these stupid people were actually turning in their semi-autos before the ban went into effect. Do you know how many?
1,000.
A couple dozen.
Yeah. Right. So basically none.
But I loved the Fish and Game executive Tim Taylor told the radio in New Zealand.
The tool man Taylor.
That people did not need to own these weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They are designed for only one thing only, and that's to kill people.
Yeah.
More dumbasses.
That's right.
Mr. Hart,
I don't.
who is a farmer, said that before the mosque shooting, he hadn't given much thought to the idea of not owning a semi-automatic rifle, since gun ownership was common in farming communities like his, and guns were viewed by most as a useful tool
Sure.
to control wild pigs and goats.
Yeah, those goats.
Wow.
Right.
New Zealand had never experienced anything like this, he said, in living memory, so it was definitely a shock to see that kind of violence arrive here.
Yeah.
He continued with, when our Prime Minister announced that our gun laws need to change, I realized I completely agree with her.
Okay.
It's an easy decision to hand over my guns.
Mm-hmm.
As to the inconvenience of not having one. He's never watched that Simpsons episode, did he?
Do they have the Simpsons in New Zealand?
Yes, they do. They've actually gone to New Zealand, I think. Or no, it was Australia.
I don't think they really went.
It was...
It was Australia. It's hard to tell the difference.
Oh, so this is what he said. He said, so his easy decision to hand over his gun at the inconvenience of not having it was completely outweighed by the risk of another massacre.
Yeah, I mean, from his gun that he owned.
Right.
I mean, basically he's saying
this
that
will do nothing to protect anyone.
No. I mean, he's admitting that he may have committed a massacre if he kept the gun. Because what's the risk of a massacre if it's his gun?
Right. How many is he planning?
Right.
And he continued, because he's a dumbass, as long as this class of weapons exists in New Zealand, there is a chance they could be used again in this way.
Well, that's true.
God almighty. But the thing is, they're not going to get rid of all the guns.
Are you sure?
Positive. The shooters were lawfully. They got... Okay, so... Oh, yeah, 37 firearms as of when I posted it.
Which, by the way, is none.
Of 1.2 million.
All of the sensationalism all over the Internet, posted by all our gun rights friends about all the people surrendering their guns in New Zealand. And it happens here every time there's a mass shooting, too, that approximately 37 people turn their guns in. It happens every time. It's not like all people in New Zealand are turning in their guns.
Well, you know, this New Zealand's just Australia light, right? I mean,
it's called hyperbole.
Yeah.
By the way, you know how many AR-15s sold in New Zealand
a lot
after the shooting?
Although I heard
all of them.
I heard that there were gun shops that were not selling them.
Well, they're dicks.
Yeah, they're dicks. That's a good one.
It's funny, right?
I had to think of that. Yeah. And there are already some laws, because I guess the terrorists did put a 30 capacity mag, which I guess are already illegal in Australia. So that worked.
According to the Prime Minister, that essentially turns them into military-style semi-automatic weapons.
Of course.
Putting a 30-round magazine in there. Now, something else I want to clear up, because along with everyone in New Zealand is turning in their guns, we're seeing the Prime Minister bans assault weapons. The Prime Minister didn't ban anything. The Prime Minister said, I expect some legislation to be proposed soon to ban all of these guns. I don't think the Prime Minister, even in New Zealand, has the power to just ban
unilaterally
guns.
Do that.
And
no, but
it's hard to find a story that actually says that. All the stories say she banned guns.
And
they're
everybody
not
thinks
banned.
they're banned.
They're not banned.
But here's the thing: the articles I'm looking at says that Parliament will probably go along with it.
They may. They might, but it's just like the bump stock ban here, where for 6 months half the people in the country thought they were banned and they weren't.
Right.
I think just being the pedant that I am,
Right. You are a P, something with a P.
So anyway,
but the terrorists win. I mean, this is stupid.
Right,
I mean,
exactly. That's the real point.
Oh,
that's the real point.
Oh God, we've never had anything like this. So we just simply ban the weapons, and they'll take care of everything.
That was your Australian accent?
Yeah, it was something.
do your Jersey accent again.
Okay, I'll do my Jersey accent again. So we'll just simply ban the weapons, and we won't have to worry about them.
Now do English.
It's going to be very similar.
Hey,
y'all, watch this.
By the way, Australia does not like to be compared to New Zealand.
No, they don't. One's Skippies and the others are Kiwis.
All right, what are we doing?
Aunt Becky
and Olivia Jade.
Yes, that's her daughter. And
I don't even remember what we were going to talk about here.
Kids are attacking the kid.
Oh,
you didn't think that was fair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and I don't think it's fair because
I agree.
Her mom allegedly bribed some people to get her into USC or wherever it was, right? She didn't do it.
Right.
She was
may or may not even have been aware of it.
18 years old at the time. And my problem is the hypocrisy, because we're saying there's a college loan crisis, and these kids, it wasn't their fault because they're just kids.
Yeah.
Well, how's that any different in this case? She was just a kid by that standard. Her mom might have done something stupid and illegal, whatever,
and go to prison for a long, long time.
Yeah, and the one I saw today, because Fox News is really all over this for some reason. They posted an article.
Well, because they're liberals.
I think
not Fox, but the people that are arrested.
Yeah, you're probably right. They put out an article. I saw it on their website showing a past from like a year ago, a video that Olivia Jade put up, because she has like 2 million followers on YouTube.
She's very nice.
And
looking.
In the video, it was a Q&A, ask me anything type of thing. And the question was, how do I stay motivated to do YouTube when I feel like I'm not making any traction and gaining any subscribers, that sort of thing. And she actually gave really good advice. And she said, what Fox News was pointing out about how this was so horrible that she said this, she said, it's not like every kid that plays a sport is like, what happens if I don't go to college for it or like become a professional, is what she said. Some people just do it because they like it. And her point was that's what she did with YouTube, is she was making YouTube videos because she liked it, not because she was chasing some subscriber count. She liked it. She was passionate about it, and that's probably why she became successful at it. And her mom was famous, and her dad famous also.
So,
but
is that what she was her scholarship in YouTubing?
No, she
should have been.
Well, no, she was on the rowing team, but she never was a rower.
Right.
So, and that's why they're pointing it out. They're saying, "Oh, she was saying not every kid goes to college for sports, and that means that she thinks that it's okay to go there and not." It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
My whole
Kinda
point
took it
is
out
it
of
doesn't make
context.
any sense, and I'm not really sure why everybody is attacking her.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Did she graduate college? How old is she?
No, she's still in college.
Okay. Still? She gonna get kicked out?
Oh, I don't know. She might have. She doesn't care. She'll do all right.
I think she's doing okay.
She's not going to skip a meal, and she won't want for anything.
Well, she might want for a college education.
No, because isn't she the one that said, I don't even really want to go to college?
Yeah.
All right. And not everyone needs to go to college, right?
Yeah, most people don't.
So
college is somewhat of a scam.
I'd rather talk about sex.
I wouldn't.
Well, we're at an impasse then.
Well, luckily we're not both millennials.
Yeah, lucky.
So I don't know who did the survey.
Doesn't matter. Let's just talk about it.
There was a survey, I saw it today, said that millennials in general care more about their dates, or I guess like a hookup, one night stand type thing, care more about their politics.
Well, even there were some long terms in the article.
Yeah, there were, but care more about their politics than they do having good sex with that person.
Right.
And the whole point of the article was like millennials are crazy, which I think is true in general.
Well, maybe, but it's and I put down, it's no different than people that only date within their religion. That's something they have in common. So
yeah.
I sort of get it.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to date somebody that is diametrically opposed to your political views or your religious views?
I don't know, expand your your being.
There's nothing wrong with being with people like that, but to having a relationship with somebody like that. And I'm looking more long term. Listen, I'm sure there's a lot of one night stands where you hit it and quit it, and you don't care anything about them. You don't even know their name. That's different. I think this is talking about something more, because some of the examples were people that were actually Republicans and Democrats that were together, and some for years, and they actually said that the sex they had after they had a fight was the best they ever had.
Right, because they were making up and
makeup sex. And the psychologist or whoever was commented and quoted in there said that this is bad because you want to
you don't
have
get
people
exactly.
You don't grow.
You don't right, which is what I said when I said expand your being.
No, I understand what you said.
But I mean, the real problem was when.
But I don't know that this is like something new.
No, it's not. I don't think it's new. But they were talking about using a dating app like Tinder or something, and they'll be interested in the person, and then they'll see it says that they're conservative or even moderate
or a Republican
or liberal, and they're a conservative, and then they immediately
swipe it.
Next.
Say no.
And that's. I think that is a problem that we're seeing in society, is that people are super close-minded.
There's
they're like Hitler.
There are the programs, dating religious ones, and so you're looking, and you're a Muslim, and you're going, Jew, nope, Jew, nope, Jew, nope, Jew, nope. I mean, it's a similar thing.
I think it is similar.
Christian, well, maybe.
Well, if they're on Christian Mingle,
we like Jesus in the Quran. Jesus was a prophet and a wise man. Maybe the Christian. We'll put them into maybe. Get my point.
I don't get your point at all.
Well,
can you keep going?
People like to flock together, right? It's birds of a feather.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get this in. The silver lining. I love this.
You've got 2 minutes.
A lot of problems in Nebraska. Lots of flooding, property damage. There were high winds. There were all kinds of stuff really bad. But I read this article today, and it warmed my heart.
Okay.
And it was a couple of guys. They were looking around their property, surveying the damage on a farm.
Yep.
And they came across a mini fridge full of beer.
Woo.
In a field that had been washed away, and the beer was still cold.
Nice.
And it was full of Busch and Bud.
Okay.
All right. And so there's pictures of them that went viral of them, cracking beer and drinking a beer out in the field.
Yeah, that's
pictures
amazing.
of the fridge. It's just a small
Did
little
they get
one.
arrested for theft?
No. Actually, they found the owner. And they found that it belonged to a guy that just lived downriver or upriver from them.
That makes sense.
And he says, that looks like the fridge and the type of beer we have in our deer hunting cabin.
That's funny.
Yeah, so they got reunited, and it felt so good.
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's why I threw it in there. It's one of those feel-good things.
All right.
We got any more time?
I mean, we have a minute or so.
All right, we can talk about the Watusi bull. A Watusi bull is a African cattle. It looks like Texas Longhorns, but they have huge, thick horns. They're just huge. And a guy had one on his farm in, I don't know where he was, Texas or somewhere. And Petco has a policy. We'll accept any pet that's on a leash that you bring into our store. So he wanted to test that out. So here he is with a video of him walking across the parking lot into the door, walks into the Petco, and all of the employees are like, oh, cool. Oh, that's so neat. And they went up and started petting this bull. The bull went crazy, killed 3 people, wounded 4 others, and no, that's not true. The Watusi bull was happy, and I think he got some Watusi bull feed.
They have that at Petco,
right? 4,000-pound bag.
So they didn't
They're
kick him out?
huge bulls.
They let him stay.
They let him stay.
Huh. Now, the China shop next door that welcomes...
Right, the China shop said no, and there were some cleanups in aisle 5.
Because it's hard to
big
house train a
Watusi bull.
Watusi.
Watusi.
Watusi bull.
Yeah.
All right, so there were 2 muffins in an oven.
Okay.
One muffin says, wow, it's really hot in here.
Yeah.
The other muffin turns over and says, holy cow, a talking muffin. All right, we're out of time. See you next week.
Bye-bye.